Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller has asked the Justice Department to turn over a wide array of documents as part of his investigation, according to ABC News. ABC News reports, in particular, Mueller's investigators are keen to obtain emails related to the firing of FBI Director James Comey and the earlier decision of Attorney General Jeff Sessions to recuse himself from the entire matter. Joining us now, Jill Wine-Banks, former Assistant Watergate Special Prosecutor and an MSNBC contributor. Jill, your interpretation of that report.
I think it's important to think about the fact that they're asking for documents and emails because I think so many of the witnesses have a loose relationship with the truth. They've accepted alternative facts as the way to proceed, and documents don't lie. You can read the words in them and interpret them. The defendant can always argue about what they mean, but the words are there for a jury to understand.
Jill, I'm struck by the use of the word request in this report. Is that a legally binding request, given that it's within the Justice Department, or does the special prosecutor need to subpoena what is technically his own department?
You can always make the request. If the request isn't abided by, if they don't get what they're expecting, then they would have to proceed to a subpoena. But it's always it's very common for prosecutors to request documents without going through a formal subpoena. That's just an extra step. But in this case, there may have to be subpoenas. There have been others where they're thinking of subpoenaing Kushner's records because he hasn't provided the ones that they've requested, and he's held them back. We don't know what'll happen here, but they're promising to cooperate, so maybe a request is enough.
And what does this suggest to you about where this investigation is in its timeline and in its lifespan? Because there's a report in the Washington Post from some people inside the White House saying they actually think that this is going to be over soon. There are other people in the article working in the administration saying that's impossible. Of course it's not going to be over soon.
I think it's only wishful thinking that it would be over soon. The timeline so far is really fast. The special prosecutor started in May, and he started from really a fresh slate. So I don't think that we can expect this to be over all that quickly. In Watergate, we acted really quickly. We already had cooperating witnesses. We had a letter from James McCord saying that there had been hush money paid. We had a pretty good roadmap to what was wrong. And then we had John Dean and Jeb Magruder, who were insiders, cooperating with us, fully cooperating. So even there, we were appointed in May. We returned indictments the following March, and we had tapes by then. So I can't expect that this would happen anywhere near as quickly. And we aren't even at a 10-month time frame yet. So I think you have to just think that anybody who's saying it's going to be over by Thanksgiving or by the end of the year is really engaging in wishful thinking or is delusional. It's not going to happen by then. And keep in mind that the special prosecutor has already returned indictments, has a guilty plea, and has made significant progress. Now the question is, who of the witnesses is going to flip and start cooperating? Who's going to get the best deal by helping to take it to the next step and to get to higher level people?
And we haven't even gotten to any kind of charging against Michael Flynn, where on the public face of the evidence, it seems that there is a very, very high likelihood of some kind of charges there. And so to suggest that this thing is somewhere near an end of a road when we haven't even gotten onto the Flynn road publicly.
Right, and things have been very quiet about Flynn, who I am sure is worried about his son's culpability as well. So is he already cooperating, or is he not? Is there going to be a case against him? We have the new developments with the Iranian Turkish businessman who has disappeared from his own trial and who may be cooperating and who likely knows a lot about Flynn, which could put enough pressure on Flynn that Flynn starts cooperating. And it's once you start getting cooperating witnesses of that kind that you can start really getting beyond the things we already know. I mean, we already have a lot of evidence of obstruction of the Russia investigation with the firing of Comey that was confirmed by the president in his interview with Lester Holt, in his conversation with the Russians. We have a lot of evidence. We have the June meeting with Donald Jr., and we know what happened in that meeting. So we have a lot of evidence, but once you get other people who are cooperating, you'll really get more details, and then there has to be a follow-up to that. So that's why it can't be over that quickly.
Jill Wine-Banks, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Coming up, the very worst legislative strategist in the history of the presidency continues to insult a Republican senator whose vote he desperately needs for his tax cuts.
We're going to give the American people a huge tax cut for Christmas. Hopefully that will be a great, big, beautiful Christmas present. With the Democrats giving us no votes for tax cuts for purely political reasons, obstructionists, it will be up to the Republicans to come through for America. I think they will. I hope they will. It's up to the Senate. And if they approve it, the House and the Senate will get together. I'll be there right in the middle of it.
And so, with the fate of the Trump tax cuts now in the hands of Republicans in the United States Senate, where they are still struggling to get 51 Republican senators to support the bill,